showdown between these two fighters should be a good one. I'm Todd Grisham, and watching this live with me is Johnny Nelson.
About time too.
Time for our tale of the tape. It's ЖӘНІБЕК, aleykum, 5'11.5" tall with a reach of 71.5 inches. And he'll be up against Saul Canelo Alvarez. He's 172 centimeters tall with a reach of 179.
There is no joke about this. Someone is going to get hurt, the other is going to get embarrassed. Let's make sure they measure up well.
It's ЖΑНІБЕК, aleykum. That strong amateur background has made him a tough out for any and every fighter he faces. Saul Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican legend, the middleweight, the super middleweight, the light heavyweight who fights out of Guadalajara, Mexico.
It'll be ding-ding from first bell, they're off.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from ŽELATTы in Kazakhstan, introducing a unified middleweight champion of the world, known as Kazakh style, ЖАНІБЕК aleykum. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, here is Mexico's first ever undisputed world champion and renowned star of boxing. Here is a 4-division world champion and an undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
So much hype surrounding this big matchup. Can't wait to see what goes down when the opening bell rings.
Which fans are going to be happy, which fans are going to be sad, I don't know, but it's the argument I love.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. Here we go. We have high hopes and aspirations for this fight. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to go down? So much firepower here. Swing and a miss with the left uppercut. Punch, counter punch. There was so much hype surrounding this match, I wonder if it can actually live up to the hype.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowds. And looking at that corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
Halfway through the round, I'm not sure who's winning it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
That jab misses. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. He threw a punch and just got countered. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about ЖΑНІБЕК that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round, complete dominance.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter, and the cornerman's got to put a firecracker on that fighter. Get out there and get the job done.
Get back. Great round now. Relax. I need you to go back out there. I need you to win this round. Get your mind back, get your focus.
Nice round, good round. I like it. I'm happy.
Good man. You were thinking, you were smart. You weren't loading up?
Here we go. It's round 2. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
To beat a counterpuncher, you've got to take them out of their pace. Do not wait for them, because if you wait, they'll pepper and pop you all night long. Rush them.
There's a counter shot. Nice counter shot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. You don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than have to.
He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. A high-octane battle. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That counter punch caught him clean. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about ЖÄНІБЕK in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
Yes, I like that round. Good round. You feel good? Don't be looking at the one. I need you to focus.
Here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How about that time counter shot? Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. They exchange punches. A counter fighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
If you're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
And he misses with that jab. Stamina is off the charts. Swing and a miss with that hook. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about ЖÄНІБЕK that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Fight that round. That's his round.
Don't worry, that's it. Now breathe. Breathe.
Back at it in round 4. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Beautiful counter punch. Good counter punching. Misses with the jab. Nice counter punch right up the middle. These two fighters are made for one another. Those counter punches have to hurt. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, so I gotta respect both of them. More than happy.
Couldn't land that jab. Nice counter. A perfect counter shot. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to start thinking. You've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket them.
Throws the jab but does not score. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about ЖÄНІБЕК in that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but how does this match get turned around?
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
What was that? What are you doing? Come on, you're switching off.
Great work. I love it. I love it. That's slick.
Time for the 5th round. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Nice slip to avoid the jab. A perfect counter lands. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
A lot of effort being exerted here. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Nice counter shot. They are not going to let this one go to the judges. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about ЖÄНІБЕК that last round. They've got the momentum, they've got the advantage. How do they carry that into the next round?
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
What are you doing? Don't worry about that round.
There's the bell for round 6. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there, these guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
Tried to score with a jab. Well done with that counter shot. For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Can't score with that jab. That counter shot lands. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
Good counter punch. Let's talk about ЖÄНІБЕК in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Work all the way through camp.
Great work. I love it. I love it. That jab slick.
Out there and win this round. You had everything in the bag. And now you've let him.
Here comes round 7. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Trying to land that jab. Back and forth they go. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds, because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
His stamina is off the charts. Incredible work rate. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about ЖÄНІБЕК that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as a fighter, and the cornerman's got to put a firecracker on that fighter. Get out there and get the job done.
I need you to win. Okay, I'm happy. I like that round. Good work. Don't be looking at for what jab back. Just
And there's the bell for round 8. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
This fighter's a big shot, and Alvarez is on the canvas. How about that impact? Let's see that again in slow motion.
I've got to see that again.
So this fight will continue, but how can they get back into this bout?
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
Halfway through the round, and I think he knows he's got a lot of work to do.
It's that forever hope. Remember the fighter Evander Holyfield? He could be behind on points until the last 10 seconds, but he's fighting like he's going to pull it back. That's the kind of hope we need to see.
He got caught clean by a left hook. The straight right just misses. His jab just got blocked. Final 10 seconds here, and this has not been his round for sure. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. It's not over till it's over, but that knockdown is going to be huge.
You've been put down, you've got to think right, survive, and then give it back the next round.
Come on, do you want to win this fight? You're starting to make mistakes and you're... Great round now. Relax.
And there's the bell for round 9. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How?
Whoa, did you see that? Give me just a second here, Johnny. We've never seen Canelo in this sort of trouble. And it appears they're out of trouble, at least for now. But that just goes to show you one clean punch changes everything.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Catch and shoot. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this could be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
A very competitive round here so far.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
And he misses with that straight left. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. They miss with the jab. And he scores with the counter. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have...
This is the 10th. How much is left in their tank after last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Beautiful counter shot. Nice counter punch. Both fighters landing in these exchanges, Judge is going to have a tough job.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Misses with the straight left. That jab misses. He threw a punch and just got countered. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. You know the scorecards are gonna be all over the place in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
There's a lot on the line here.
That jab's looking nice. Goes 1-2 straight down the middle.
What are you doing? You've switched off completely. You've been constant.
This is the 11th. We've entered the championship rounds. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Tried to score with that hook, but missed. The pound-for-pound king, Canelo, is down. I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
I need to see that again.
Apparently, it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
But now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
Holding nothing back here in the round. Final 10 seconds here, and the corner better get warmed up. They've got some work to do. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be 10-8 after the knockdown. There's the bell for round 12. Got to get the momentum shift coming their way. What can they do here?
What a knockdown. 1 minute, you need 1 hour to get over a shot like that. Now it's down to conditioning. Now it's down to mental strength and preparation. It's how you are going to deal with this.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Through the straight left, but it won't score. Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Just misses with that jab. Just misses with that uppercut. Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
I've seen some fights with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. And that's it, a unanimous decision win.
This is the last thing we expected. What a fight, what a style, what a pace to get a unanimous decision. That is mad. I didn't see that coming. I thought this would be tight. This is nowhere near tight.